God morgon gänget. Idag är det lördag och vi är framme på 13 juli. Oj. Och vi sitter i bilen på väg till Arlanda för att dumpa av Joakim som ska gå Nijmegen-marschen. Så vi tänkte att vi ska göra en liten miniserie här med Nijmegen-material. Så tanken är ju att ni ska få följa med runt på actionkameran och se lite både själva marschen och lite bakom kulisserna. Och Jocke går ju militärt, så det är ju lite annorlunda jämfört med när man går civilt då. För jag har ju 1 eller 2 videos från Nijmegen redan på kanalen. Men vi tänkte också, eftersom att det här är ett internationellt fenomen, så kommer vi ta en hel del på engelska. Du kan få börja med och berätta lite bakgrund om Nijmegen, vad det är och hur det kom sig att du började och lite så.
So the 4-day march, or the Fyrdags, is a yearly event every July. It started in 1916 as like a military march between 2 regiments, I believe, just because they wanted to do some sort of exercise event for the personnel. So that was over 100 years ago. Over the years, it's grown into including civilian walkers and being more and more of a fest for like the whole town. It's in the city of Nijmegen. It's a mid-sized town in the Netherlands, I believe. Can't remember if the population is around 100,000 or something. Each year in July you have 1 week where there's a whole lot of events going on, live music, beer tents opening up, marketplaces. You can go on rides and stuff like that. And that's from Saturday to Saturday, I believe. The whole town is a bit more party during that week. And then the actual walking takes place from Tuesday to Friday. And you walk approximately 40 kilometers on average per day. So the total is 160 for the military discipline. And then there's some variations for civilians depending on age and gender. So you can walk an average of 30 per day if you are either very young or a little bit older. And then if you are a young, healthy male, then you can be mandated to walk 50 kilometers a day, I believe. But the military route is always 40 kilometers per day, and you also carry, you wear your uniform with your boots, and then you also have some sort of backpack or other equipment like a vest or something, and it has to be at least 10 kilos that you carry with you, and you have to remember that's excluding food and water, because if you eat and drink all of that and they do a check, then you don't want to be below 10 kilos. If you're and the weight is mandatory for all males below 50 years of age, so women do not have to carry it, but I have had people walk with me who have worn the weight just because they want to and they can. So it feels a bit silly a lot of times that of course males and females can be built different, but you can be a very strong woman and you can be a weaker man, and I don't know, you should try to apply the rules to yourself, and how much of a challenge do you want, and do you feel you're up to the task, and maybe walk without weight the first time and then add the weight the next year or something, if you're stupid enough to come back. But this is my 8th year. I started in 2014, and I've walked every year since, except for 2016 when they changed the rules a bit for applying, and my group did not qualify. And then they had 2 years, I believe, during COVID when they did not organize the event. So I'm gonna fly down now. Now it's Saturday, the week before the march, and gonna stay there until next Saturday. And during my stay, I'll be living and eating and everything at a camp that is built up each year in a nature reserve, I believe, that is called Humensåd. I might slaughter the pronunciation, but so it's just south of the city center, and all the military personnel live there, and you have a food court, medical service, and stuff like that. So in our fee for applying, everything is included. So it's a bit higher than if you want to walk like a civilian, but more is included. And if you don't have an apartment already in Nijmegen, then it's going to be more expensive to walk as a civilian, I believe.
Yeah.
The rents go through the roof, or the hotel fees and the Airbnbs and everything.
Yeah, and they are mostly fully booked, at least a year before the event. So a lot of people are walking for several years in a row, and if they have a good connection with the hotel manager, they put their name on a list and pre-book. So last year when I walked as a civilian together with his mom and a friend of his mom, we stayed in Arnhem, which is a city that's close to Nijmegen, but it took approximately 20 minutes by train. But they do arrange, they put in extra trains and buses so that you can make it to the start. And the start is usually very early in the morning, since it's quite a long way to walk, and it takes many hours. So they want the start to be early so that the heat doesn't get too bad. So for civilians, I think when you do the 50-kilometer one, you start around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and then it's a little bit later for all of the distances. So those who walk the 30-kilometer starts the latest. So they usually start around 6 o'clock or something. And can you tell us a little bit about the premises of going in a group as a military group? What is the rules? And you touched on the backpack, that it needs to be 10 kilos, or it doesn't have to be a backpack either. We have seen some people that have walked with speakers, huge speakers with
shoulder straps.
Yeah, attached to them. And there's also, but I think he is civilian, right? The one with the bar on the back.
Yeah, there's a guy that has 2 or 3 different types of spirits, like Jägermeister and maybe some Fernet Branca, and it has the bottles upside down with the tap attachment. And then it has a cup holder you'd have at the water cooler, and then you can just ask him for a drink, and then either you pour it yourself or he has a friend with him. But yeah, more about the military stuff. So I can mostly speak for the Swedish delegation, since I'm gonna represent them. But in general, all times I've walked, like Sweden has been around 300 to 350 walkers, and then we have support staff that is around like maybe 15 people, but you have like administrative staff, and then you have medics, and then you also have like public relations, like liaisons and stuff like that. But yeah, so we're around 350 walkers this year, I think, and I believe that around 300 are walking in a group, and then we have around 50 people that walk as an individual. And to be able to walk as an individual, I believe you have to be above 21 for some reason, and then I don't even think you have to have walked March before. I think that would be a better thing to have as a requirement, that you must have completed the march one time before you can be allowed to walk alone, because that's like a check that, okay, I know what it's about, I know the training that is needed and how to like discipline yourself with pacing and food and water, so you don't like walk alone, fall over into a ditch, and then it can go real bad.
You're not alone at the roads, but it's as you said, a lot of things to consider.
And if you're really quick, then you can almost be alone.
Yeah, there are some parts where the military and the civilians go separate routes, so there it's of course a lot less people and a lot less audience as well, but yeah, in all of the towns and all of the like city centers, there's a lot of audience. It's like a festival for the audience as well. But yeah, I agree with you that should be a better requirement than just being 21 years of age, because there's not that much of a difference in a 21-year-old and an 18-year-old, in my opinion.
Yeah.
When you walk in a group, how many people do you need to be, and how do you put together different groups? And yeah, can you tell us a little bit about?
Yeah. So like I said, around 300 people, so the vast majority of the delegation is walking in groups, and what you do is like in I think it's late January or February, the group leader needs to apply, like send in a list of participants and like a training schedule and some details, like who are walking in my group, is it open for outsiders to apply as well if they want to, and stuff like that. So you apply for that in like January or February, and then they have like a big lottery. The group can at a maximum be 15 people, and it has to be at least 11 people to start.
And when you are walking, do you need to be like information all the time, or how strict are they, and do you need to look like the same with equipment, or?
Yeah, so in a military manner, everyone should have the same uniform as much as possible, like your hats or headwear could vary, of course, if you're from different units, but like if you're in a big city, then everyone should wear their hat at the same time, so no one can be like, yeah, no, I'm hot, I'm gonna not wear it. So you need to look pretty. When you're out on the less occupied routes, then it's more free, and like you can't have someone walking with a jacket on and someone has their jacket off, and you have one has a long sleeve and one have a short sleeve shirt, so you need to be a bit militaristic in that way.
Yeah. So if it starts raining, then it's everyone or no one that could wear like a raincoat or rain poncho.
Yeah, so me as a squad leader or the group leader for the marching group, I commandeer and like select what we should wear. So if it starts raining and I think it's gonna be significant rain, then I will stop the whole group and everyone will put on their jackets and or pants, and then we keep on walking.
Yeah. And how do you like split? Because I know that you usually walk for a certain amount of time and then you take a break and then you start walking again. Can you tell us a little bit of how you like split the day up?
Yeah. So in Sweden we typically march for 50 minutes and then we have a rest of 10 minutes. It's a pretty good division. Like you start to get a bit tired, especially like day 2 and 3 and so on. You get a bit tired, and then it's very welcome to walk for only 50 minutes before you get some rest. And during the rest, you change your socks. You correct like your gear if you have anything going on, like something dangling or something like that. And it also makes it easy to keep track of time, because 50 plus 10 is an hour, and then you just repeat that process over and over.
How long is like the time cap for each day?
I can't remember if it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That is the deadline to get into camp and scan your bracelet.
So do they check like each morning when you walk off how many people you are in the group?
Yeah, so the first day, like I mentioned before, you have to start day 1 with at least 11 people. So last year I think we were 13, so I was sweating a bit. For a moment I thought we were going to be 12 as well to fly down. So I said, like, even if you break your leg, you need to come down and start on Tuesday.
Yeah, you can take one step and then just...
Yeah, abort.
Yeah.
Because if you are 10 people on Tuesday, then no one gets to walk. And then everyone has spent like thousands of crowns for nothing and occupied a week of their vacation.
Yeah. So that would probably suck.
You're not too popular if you...
Yeah, but if there were to be like such a situation, could you borrow like a group member from another group, or could you solve it that way?
No, I think it's pretty strict. So they have some like administrative deadlines running up to the start of the event, where they can change names and do stuff like that. But like there's always a person somewhere that needs to do the administrative work, and the closer you get to the live event, then it's going to be harder to do it, because it's regarding like safety and stuff like that. You want to know who is living at the camp, who has what allergies, and like next of kin and stuff like that.
And why do you want to do this march? As you said, it's your 8th time, but what is it that makes it so special, and like why do people do it in the first place?
I think some people do it as like a test of their physical acumen, like a challenge physically, and it can be very physically challenging, especially with the heat that you usually get in the Netherlands in July. It can be anywhere from 20 to 40 degrees Celsius, but then you have like the camaraderie, and like I said, it's a big fest all through the week, both for civilians and military. So you have like the beer tent and the music and the friendships, both among your own group and the whole Sweden team, and then you get to socialize with other nations, and it's very relaxed in the camp as well. So it's called a no hat zone. So as soon as you walk inside the gate, then you don't have to wear a hat, and that means that you don't have to salute anyone. So everyone is equal and normal people for a while, so you can just socialize.
It's the höger vänster om.
Yeah, you're free to do what you wish. And then like for me, a lot of people said like, yeah, you walked so many times now, why don't you do it individually? Because I think a lot of people see the individual version to be easier and like more fun, because you're more free to like, yeah, I can essentially start when I want, I can walk as fast as I want, I can take a rest when I want, have a beer, eat wherever I want, and I don't have to like sync with the rest of the team and stuff like that. But I think both for me, like the social part, and to be able to help the rest of the team, because a lot of the people on my group each year is first-time walkers, so they need a group to walk with, especially if they're young, and I think it feels good to be able to help them and like invite them into the world of walking. I'm walking here. And I always get happy when I hear people want to come back next year, because some people I doubt before the week is over, like, yeah, this person is a bit in pain, or yeah, it's getting really hot, and maybe they're not enjoying themselves 100%, but then a week after the march is done, they say like, hey, can I come back next year?
Yeah, and also to clarify some things about the march, it always starts from the same point. So as a civilian, you always start in like the city center of Nijmegen, and you always start at the Humensort, and then you walk like a 4-leaf clover, so you do a different route each day. So you start and finish at the same spot, and then you do like a loop, and the next day you do a different loop, so it builds like a 4-leaf clover.
Yeah, and that's real fun for everyone in the neighboring areas as well, because you have 4 different routes that go through different villages around Nijmegen.
Yeah, and each day as a civilian has a specific color, so you are not required to wear like a blue shirt on Blue Tuesday, but a lot of people do, and the cities also decorates with those colors, and different cities has like different themes, and it's a lot of fun. And just like in all cardio-based events, you get treated to like candies and salty crackers.
You can even get ice cream.
Yeah, so they are very like giving. And
yeah, they're very generous and helpful.
Yeah, so most of the time it's like little kids that are standing along the road with like baskets of sweets or fruits, and you're also able to fill up your water bottle. At some people's yawns they have like a water hose, and if it's a really hot day, then some people put on like sprinklers that you could walk through, or just stand with like water guns and shoot at you. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of music and a lot of happy people. So
yeah, and I have a hard time explaining this phenomenon to like my team members beforehand. Like for the first time walkers, they're like, yeah, it's a military walk. Some civilians do it. They think it's like doing a physical training like test for work or something, that it's going to be maybe a bit boring, but at least you get a medal that you can wear on your uniform. Or they feel like, yeah, but how excited can the people be? They must be sick of all the people coming into town, and especially the militaries marching through, that they would get sick of it over the years. But I try to tell them like, no, this is like the highlight of the year for them. And one of the highlights, I can't remember which year it was, but at one point we were walking through a village, and we found a spot in the shade to have some rest, and then a man came over and asked if we wanted some beer, and we said, yeah, what do you mean? And then he comes over with a whole like what's it called, a buck plastic bottle holder thing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like a whole tray.
Yeah. So he comes over with like 20 bottles of wheat beer. I think it was like Erdinger or some equivalent, and like alcoholic beer. And then he said like, "Do you want something to eat as well?" And we're like, "Yeah, if it's not too much to ask." And so we each got one beer each, and we're Swedish, so we started by taking like a couple of beers and sharing. And he's like, "Oh, you don't want more beer?" We're like, "Yeah, but we don't want to take all of your beer." And then his daughter came out with grilled cheese sandwiches that had like curry ketchup and regular ketchup dipping trays as well. So that was pretty magical to get like a full meal while taking a rest.
And to try to summarize and tie this video together, how do you feel right now before the march?
I feel good. Like you always have like doubts, and the body always tries to act up before a race, no matter if it's like the Nijmegen march or like half marathon or whatever. Like the body is spooky.
Yeah, you always feel like shit before a race or before a major event.
Yeah, but by now I try to tell myself like just ignore it, because it always goes well.
Yeah, you have experienced this before. It's nothing new. And how many of your group members do you think will finish?
I think everyone, because this is the 6th time I organize a group myself and lead it through the march, and each time we have completed the march with 100% of the walkers. And through the week I'm gonna try to document like my experience down there. I'm gonna try to film a bit in the camp and along the walking path, and add some commentary, and then I might add some commentary post production as well.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
And then I'm gonna point and ask for effects from Jennifer as well.
Yeah.
I want that tree over there to explode. And
yeah, you're gonna challenge my editing skills. But yeah, that's all for this video. So stay tuned for the Nijmegen March vlog. It's quite possible that it's gonna become split into 2 videos, because as we said, it's a 4-day march and you are walking for approximately like 8 to 10 hours a day. So it's gonna be like a lot of content to edit, and it's oftenly better to have 2 videos that are around like 45 minutes than having one long 90-minute video, I think. So yeah, I wish you all the best and have a great walk. Is it like a common saying? Like, how do they say something like success? It's like
good luck.
Yeah, success alleval or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but success at least.
Yeah.
And then they say good morning all day.
Yeah, they do. And also drink some good beers and have typical Netherlandian foods like bitterballen and a lot of French fries.
Poefjes.
Poefjes, yes. But that's all for this video. So as we said, stay tuned and be safe and have a lovely weekend. Bye.